You're listening to the World's Team Podcast. It's not just America's team, Cowboys Nation. It's the world's team. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
How about them Cowboys?
What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome to another episode of the World's Team Podcast, brought to you by the Believe Network, sponsored by Cowboys Experience, for the ultimate game day experience with stadium tours, game tickets, tailgating, all the above. Be sure to go to www.cowboysexperience.com and use the discount code WorldsTeam 2025. I'm your host, Paul Stewart, and as always, I am joined by the Welsh Dragon himself. You can find him on bloggingtheboys.com. It's no other than Mr. Mike Poland. How are we doing, bro?
Yeah, good. We've got a week of training camp under our belt. The pads have come on, blue-white scrimmage. I mean, we've had a bit of bad news, but that has been turned into better news, which we'll obviously get into now. But yeah, I mean, it's good. Training camp, things are flowing. We're getting into it now.
Yeah. There's one thing that I have noticed with training camp, like, I'm concerned about the amount of injuries that we've picked up so far. I mean, it's only been a week, and already I think we've got 9 people that have kind of picked up injuries there and there. That's been the most in a long time that we've had. So, but I think in some way, yeah, it's good that the guys in the football field, excuse me, are putting in the effort to really showcase their skills and really try and get their name out there with the new coaching staff. Obviously, they're getting really behind under Brian Schottenheimer, which is great. We're seeing a lot of that right now. So, but I just hope we just don't have any more big fatalities out there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the George Pickens one, that gave us all a bit of a scare on, what was it, the second or third day of training. That was, ooh.
I think that was just not long after when we recorded our last episode, actually.
That's right, yeah. And it was like a bit of a panic, but it turned out that was just cramp because the next day he was back in, he was full flow.
Yeah. And we got to see some really good action of George Pickens the other day there. It was a deep ball to George Pickens, just absolutely smoked our secondary.
High pointing it beautifully as well.
Yeah, and when I say smoke our secondary, that's a really harsh term to say it, because at the moment right now, we're very low in depth with our secondary, especially at cornerback at this moment, because obviously we've just kind of, I'm trying to remember the kid's name now, Matthew, he used to play for the Baltimore Ravens, but we have made a new signing.
That literally, as we've been recording, that's come through, I mean, we'll have to dig some more depth into that, but what was important, Paul, that I liked is on, I'm trying to think, it was Monday's practice, we had a Siobhan Revel spotting, not quite practicing with the first and everything, but he's working, doing some drills, doing some skill work. Schottenheimer was caught watching him, so that's important. I think we could very well soon, I don't know how soon because I'm not a doctor, but we could very well soon start to see a bit of Siobhan Revel getting trickled in, and we're going to see, because it's his length, he's just so lengthy and rangy, that we're going to end up seeing some of that, and that's going to excite us on the depth of cornerback.
The thing I'm really excited to see about Siobhan Revel is his range in terms of coverage. It's he knows how to cover a lot of ground in a short space of time. That's the one thing why he's been so highly regarded from, I'll be brutally honest, from a smaller school like East Carolina. They're playing in the American Conference in college. They're playing against North Texas, Wyoming, and etc. You're not going to get that much recognition unless you actually are being an absolute standard, and that's what Revel was, despite the injuries. He's got that X factor. It is there. But so what I'm really excited to see, and you know me, Mike, I don't really often get excited with secondary players because that's not my forte. I never played the position. I'm a defensive line. I'm an offensive line guy. I'm all about the line of scrimmage. But Revel excites me. It really does.
Oh yeah. like there was a picture of him when he first was on back in Frisco. Just on that, the little practice field they've got him. Well, it's not little, it's huge. But the practice field they've got at the back. And he's just a simple picture. He's just standing there with his arms down by his side. And you just look at like how dangly his arms are. And the dude is over 6 foot tall. And you look at that and you're like, oh my God, how are you ever supposed to get a ball through that? Like, just so much length and range to him. It's unbelievable. It's exciting to watch. And he's got the athleticism and the smarts to go with it.
I was just about to say the smarts, because the smarts is the most important key here. Like, for him to do what he did back in college when he was fit and healthy, I'm really excited to see how that's going to translate into the NFL. Like, obviously, we need to ease him in properly, make sure like nothing really bad happens, etc. But I am excited to see Siobhan Revel really like get in amongst with the first team and get like be on the pads, etc. So I'm really looking forward to that. But tell me, Mike, what else has been happening at training camp?
Well, let's stick with the cornerbacks.
Okay.
I just thought we go there. We're on cornerbacks, so we'll stick with that one. Kalen Carson, he's had an injury. Yeah, unfortunate. Looking like 6 weeks is what they're saying has been reported.
Minimum of 4 weeks. Yeah, talking about maximum of 6 weeks. So it'll be back when the season starts. Essentially, it'll be like what? How many weeks is it to the first game of the season? What, 5-6 weeks?
Yes, yeah, it's about 6 weeks. Yeah,
so it might be back in time for week 1. Who knows? It just depends. Who knows? And this is again to the credit of the Dallas Cowboys medical staff. They can make wonders. I don't know what they do over there. They just rub on a rubber like a wet sponge and it just magically fixes. They seem to do that with a lot of players, like in terms of recovery time to come back and play on the football field. When you think about it, Dak Prescott, Jalen Smith, like those are two of the most notable ones I could think of at this moment. But you get the idea. The Dallas Cowboys medical team are probably one of the best to get players back on that football field.
Yeah, no, true. The medical staff have done so many wonders in the past. When you think of, like Sean Lee, Jalen Smith, LVE, all of those, the list is endless. I'm just thinking of the most extreme.
Yeah. So Kalen Carson, sadly, like he's picked up an injury again. That kind of lowers the depth of cornerback, and obviously we've now had to. I'm trying to remember its name now, because it was just announced like what 45 minutes ago.
Not even that. Yeah. So I mean, like Kalen Carson. Here's the trouble: is that Carson last year he came in, they tried to see what he had, throw him in the deep end. I'm all game for that. See what floats. Carson really did struggle last year. He had plenty of struggles, and you've seen then that the sprinkling of Carson throughout the season kind of got less and less and less. Till in the end, it kind of just went, he's not ready. This is just now going to be a big, serious bump, if you like, in his development, because he's going to miss a training camp.
Like, I just remembered it. So it's Christian Matthew, former Baltimore Raven from last year. He was pretty much on the practice squad last year, but I believe he was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals in the 7th round a couple of seasons ago. So he's kind of been in and about with a couple of teams since Arizona, been in the league for a couple of years, but he's no real. But I don't know about you, Mike. I think it's a bit more of a depth piece again.
It's
like,
covering, yeah.
It's just covering our butts, pretty much. We don't expect any magical wonders, but we're now seeing a lot of people now, especially on Twitter Space or X Space, whatever you want to call it nowadays. People are saying, bring back Stephen Gilmore. We're seeing a lot of that now because of the injuries that we do have with like Diggs, and we're waiting back for like Rebel to get 100%. Like Bland's coming back from an injury from last year. Is he going to be 100%? Is it worth really taking that gamble, bringing like Stephen Gilmore to come back, just even for this one more season?
Yeah, I mean, the issue I have with the Stephen Gilmore idea is age. Like, he was old when he played for the Cowboys, and I'm not saying he's old, but for a cornerback, age is definitely age was a concern last time, because with cornerbacks, the issue is it's the fluid motion, the fluid mobility with them, as you get older, that goes away, which increases the risk of injuries. So as you get older, cornerbacks get more injured more frequently. So we were lucky; we got away with it with Gilmore when he was with Dallas last time. You just think
I wouldn't say lucky at all. I think just Stephen Gilmore just knows how to look after himself, if I'm being honest.
yeah. It's just the risk and probability, of these things. So that's my concern. It's not so much can Gilmore play. That's not a factor. What the factor is the age with the injury. When you compound that with the fact that the Cowboys are already dealing with plenty of injuries in the cornerback room, do you just want to compound that more by adding another high risk?
Yeah. Also, just to kind of highlight as well, seeing so we're kind of talking about train camp, did you
Yes.
notice the play on it with Jaden Blue with the catch? Did you notice that?
The one-handed one?
Oh
yeah.
boy,
Yes.
okay. I think that can actually rest people's opinion about the wrong article saying Jaden Blue is being lazy. No, that is certainly not the case here, mate. Jaden Blue is there to ball out, and we're seeing that bait from the get-go. We're seeing some really good glimpses of what Jaden Blue can bring to this offense, not just as a running back, but even in the receiving game. We're adding more like offensive weapons for Dak Prescott now. This is like, I don't want to be getting way too ahead of myself here, Mike, but this is probably going to be the most stacked skill set in terms of wide receivers and especially for the
The
passing
skill
game.
positions.
Yeah, that Dak Prescott is ever going to have in a long time. I think this
Yeah.
is the most he's had since he's came into the NFL, and this is no disrespect to Dez, etc. and Amari Cooper, but you had your number one, your number two, and you had your tight end, but you don't. But we've got so many other gadgets available. Looky,
Who's been doing well lately? Turpin as well.
Turpin. Now we've got Jalen Blue that can actually catch the ball as well, and not to mention, I'm pretty sure Javante Williams can do that stuff as well. So, so there's a lot of when it comes to playing football, when it comes to week one, it's going to give a lot of teams to think about. It's like, are they going to run the ball or are they actually going to pass it? Because the guys that they've got as running backs can certainly catch the ball. So it's giving us more to think about as well. Not us to think about, it's giving defenses to think about more as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're moving things laterally as well as as well as vertically and upfields. But it's like with Jaden Blue, the catch, fantastic. It's a highlight reel catch. It's impressive. But what is also impressive is you see him moving out to the flat, and Dak just dumps it off into just a very simple screen, and Blue's gone. He's upfield, and you watch it, and you're like, "That's a first down," and you're like, "Brilliant." What you need is
It's the reaction time. It's like right after the catch, he's going. There's no build. There's no build up to accelerate. He's like pew, straight off the bat. It's like it's like it's like Roadrunner. Meep meep boom. He's gone.
yeah. But you just think that these are perfect plays where you're sitting there and you're just like going, right, dial me up a very easy throw and catch play for Dak here.
Yeah.
Start the game off. Let's start the game off with a boom. Okay, what are we going to start off with? Right, Jaden Blue, simple screen, out into the open, out on the flat, throw it to him, get down there. Let's see what can happen. First down. That just sets the tone for the rest of the game. What you want is these easy plays when you need them. When you need to dial up a quick and easy, rather than like what we've seen in the past with Mike McCarthy, is they start off oddly trying to make all these difficult plays to start the game off. And then they get themselves stuck into a rut because they start the game off. They go 3 and out. Now now the opposition comes down. They score a field goal. We're already behind the back foot. Now that offense, the rhythm is and the spark and the energy is falling flat because they've been sitting on the bench. No, give them these easy plays to begin with. Let's set the tone. Let's get the crowd going. Let's get A&TT behind the team, and that's those type of plays that we're seeing, as well as like the ones with Turpin. We've seen Turpin even stick Smith on his butt.
Yeah, I was going to
Chucked
say
him over.
I was going to say like I was going to mention a few names I've actually been quite impressed with. So I've been impressed with Spanford, been impressed with Tyler Smith is looking fantastic out there, especially in the run blocking. Really, really looking. He's really perfecting this draft. So he's obviously had a really good off season, really building up more upper body strength to really drive back.
Yeah.
My main concern, and we did talk about this a couple of episodes ago, is Mazi Smith.
Mazi Smith has struggled.
I'm concerned massively about Mazi.
He has struggled, and Booker gave him a run for his money the other day, which is kind of like, you're like, oh, at least Booker's there. But like, yeah, Mazi is looking like he's hitting those struggles again.
It's like there was one particular play, and it was actually Tyler Smith versus Mazi Smith, and the two Smiths going head to head, and the reaction time was like it's so indifferent. It's so different. Mazi looked so slow to get out of his stance, and Tyler just looked like a bat out of hell and just drove him about 5-6 yards beyond the line of scrimmage into the defensive side. You're like, and I'm just like, Mazi, you need to do better here, man. Like, we are rooting for you. We want you to succeed, but we need to see what we saw, what you played like against the Giants. We need to see that, like, bring out that more aggression out, get off your stance, show us what you were doing back in Michigan. Like we're like, it pains me to see this. It really is.
No, it is, and like, you know, we spoke about Mazi last week, and like I feel for Mazi in a way that it's like
I do too. I do too.
He's been messed around and jostled about so much that it's just like he's trying to figure out what to do here, but at the same time, the team keeps changing their mind on what they want him to do.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, and like, not every player can be like a Tyron Crawford in that capacity. Because Tyron Crawford, if you all remember, ladies and gentlemen, he was a free tech. He was a defensive end. He was playing 9 tech at one point as well, like really wide 9 and in defensive front, which is basically you're going doing like a battle out of hell to try and get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
But the fact is, like, playing defensive end and defensive tackle, you're swapping in and out. But that's kind of different. But what we're doing with Mazi, we're trying to transform him into, oh, do we want him to be heavy? Do we want him to be light? Do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? I'm just like, keep him consistent. Like, just bring him in what you initially brought him to do.
To be the nose.
Be the nose. That's why he was drafted in the first round in the first place. That's why he was named as a top 50 player. Even top 25 even.
Yeah.
You know, so I just don't.
Best run stopping inside defensive tackle in that draft.
Yeah, and
they're trying to make him something he's not.
Like, because when you look at the highlight when we used that Michigan, like, there was not really much to see in terms of pass rush. He was not designed for that. He's designed. He's designed. It's like we basically want him to be like Vince Wilfork, essentially. Eat up the double teams.
Yeah.
Eat up the double teams, opens up the space for the linebackers and get to the quarterback. That's what really we want Mazi to do, is really get into the dreads and make them like force offensive lines to double block him. We're not getting that. We're actually seeing Mazi Smith one-on-one getting forced back. And that concerns me.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we're getting into the third year of his tenure in the NFL, and it's like they still haven't figured out what they want him to be. And you're just like, it's a big failure. And like, you know, you can put some of it on Mazi for sure, but I think the biggest issue has to go on not just this group of coaches, but the group of coaches
before that and the one before that.
Yeah. And they've been different each year, which doesn't help Mazi either.
Yeah, so Dan Quinn, Mike Zimmer, and now we've got Matt Elberfus. So, and they all have their own different ways of how they want to perceive it. So it's going to be really difficult, like, especially if you're a rookie and you've now had 3 different defensive coordinators and 3 different defensive line coaches. It's going
Different
to be a lot.
schemes,
Yeah. Well,
everything.
maybe not so much scheme, but different ways of teaching. It might be easier to understand from one coach, maybe how difficult from the other. Like some ways, different coaches actually can like send the message across the players a lot more effective than others. Like prime example, like my offensive line coach when I was still playing football to this day was in my rookie season. I understood him more than anyone than any of my other offensive line coaches, and that's no disrespect to them. It was just how the way he like brought the message down, how he broke things down and made it so easy to understand, and it clicked immediately. So I don't know if that's one way of doing it, but the good thing, I suppose, the good thing is we do have a good defensive line coach in Aaron Whitehorn who has proven to really work defensive
This is
linemen.
true. Yeah.
Like, but time will tell on that. I'm not giving up on Mazi as of yet. I'm not giving up on him. Like, I just want to see a bit more of that, a bit of aggression to actually like give the offensive line a bit of competition. Like, because if we're not giving our O line competition and they're going up against Philly in week 1 and they think it's going to be a cake over, and next thing you've got likes of who's the big guy, the defensive tackle for the Eagles from Georgia.
Jordan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Like if he comes down there and he's going up against like Tyler Booker and think it's going to be a walkover and he's getting forced back, it's like, oh, what the hell? You're going to be starstruck. You're going to be startled, and it's going to affect you mentally for the rest of the game. So that's what I'm concerned about. And a lot of it's all down here. It's all here. So, but yeah, I think we've kind of covered a bit too much there. But
it is an important thing to look at. So it needed covering. I tell you something though, if we want to like flip it back on the defense to who has been playing good, 2 players that have stood out so far for me.
All right.
Kaiir Elam has
been he's been surprisingly, I would say, the nicest surprise in training camp so far. Elam's he's been all over the place right now. Like he's been
beating
breaking
Pickens.
up. Yeah. So we might actually have that first round caliber Kaiir Elam back. Who knows?
Could be. And the other guy, Maurice Liafu, really taking it on.
I'm telling you, what did I say? Like when we were doing the whole draft process, like this was when I think we were still on a different network at the time. When we were covering Maris Liafu, it was like this guy is basically a good study for the game. Like he's like, I'm not saying he's Sean Lee, but he has the characteristics of what Sean Lee does. He likes to spend his time in the film room and understanding his assignment and make sure that he's that type of perfectionist. Like, because you don't really see Liafu making out of place steps or making mistakes. Like the only time, like if Liafu's not in the fold, it's obviously they're not either running in his direction or they're passing away from him. But whenever like Liafu's involved, he's at the right place at the right time, and that's what we're starting to see here. So we're seeing that evolution of Liafu really coming up to his own. Not like like I said, he's not become like Sean Lee, but I think he's like really kind of like taking that next level now.
Trajectory's looking great. Yeah,
it's looking great.
Yeah,
absolutely. But
yes,
but the biggest news though, Mike, we've re-signed our tight end, Jake Ferguson, to I believe it's a 4-year extension at $13 million per year.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, some people are angry about this. They're like, but I think what people are more angry with isn't the fact that the deal's been done. They're more mad at the fact that this has been done before Micah.
Micah Parsons. Yes.
That's the trouble. Like you're mad at the wrong thing.
That's the thing I am mad about. I know some of our friends, like our colleagues at UK Cowboys fans, are kind of really like up in the air with Micah Parsons right now. I get it, but he's still one of our best players. I still want him on the team because like you saw the effect he had last year. When Micah was not on the field, I'm gonna say it, we were crap. We were dog war when Micah was not on the field. But when Micah came back, it was immediate. It was
the
like
whole defense came up.
It's like everyone reconnected. It's like it felt like you just took out a Jenga piece, it fell down, and you just put it back in, and it just like it just reformed again.
Stabilized, yeah.
It like stabilized the whole structure of the defense.
Yeah.
Like, despite Micah can be quite outspoken, he does this podcast, does really silly things like going to Japan, do sumo wrestling. I get that. It's a bit of a distraction, but he has kind of quietened down this off season. I'll be honest, he
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
In comparison, I don't know if it's because of the Schottenheimer effect. I am starting to see more leadership qualities from Parsons, because that was one of the things we talked about last week, that Jerry wants to see more as more leadership.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more leadership. That's my opinion on it. But uh but 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 to the good news though, Mike.
The Jake Ferguson news. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean they get to keep him. Jake Ferguson's happy. And I mean, last year was an issue. Injuries played his part for Jake Ferguson, but what also played his part on Ferguson's down year last year was the fact that we lost Dak, we lost CD for a period of time. Zeke, they kept trying to force until they decided they were going to try Rico Daddle. There was injuries on the offensive line. We didn't have Brandon Cooks. So, like, all of this kind of piled itself up on a down year for Jake Ferguson. But Jake Ferguson is a good tight end. He is solid.
He is. He is. And I remember Brian and Jamie and that from UK Cowboys fans. They were talking about it on their live stream right now. Talking about Ferguson. Basically, the thing about like Ferguson is, and I kind of raised the question to them. It's like there was people were kind of arguing the fact with what about Dalton Schultz back then? We're paying more than we would like at the time. We would have gave him 12 million a year, and obviously we knew Schultz was never coming back. We knew that. We had good sources close to
They told
the
us
Schultz
way
camp.
before that. Yeah,
we knew that way ahead of time. That was never going to happen. But the thing is, it's like Schultz is a pure catch and tight end. He's not an all-round tight end that can block and catch. Ferguson is. Like you put him like playing 12 man, he's going to block and very effectively as well. Like if you've got likes of Ferguson and likes of at the time Hendershot or some at that time, you had that two tight end combo for blocking, and we were quite successful at that. So, but even at that, but when Ferguson is open, he brings that game dog mentality. Like, that's the type of motivation I like to see from your tight end. Like, he really gets you fired up as well.
Yeah.
And Ferguson has been a good safety blanket for Dak Prescott when the right receivers are
the offense.
That's the most important thing. Like, Ferguson is a really good fail-safe. Just kind of like, unfortunately, when you look like Kansas City, it's like it seems to be Travis Kelce is the number one, but the wide receivers seem to be the fail-safe rather than the other way.
But
rather than the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the crazy bit: George Kittle, Trey McBride, both got extensions, nearly 20 million per. Right? You think now that there's contract years for the guys like Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts is coming up, David Njoku, Dallas Goedert. There's another guy. Guys.
Don't forget Sam Laporta.
He'd be coming around. Yeah, he'd be coming around.
Not next year, but the year after.
Yeah, he'd be coming around.
Hess is going to be big. I'm telling you.
But you think all these guys, they're going to be demanding way more than what Jake Ferguson has just asked for. So you've landed a very good deal with Ferguson. So that's some good news. And you think over that period of time, that these 4 years, you think on terms of where Ferguson is in the rankings, he's going to be way, way down. So, by the time all these guys get their contracts.
Yeah, and I think it's a fair deal. Like, because when you think about with the NFL with the inflation that's going up every year, like financially, like the salary cap's increasing, so the pay for the players is always going to go up regardless. I think 13 million is a very good fair deal. Like, I know some fans say, it would have been nice to get a little bit cheaper. I agree in that way as well. I would like to have gotten a little bit cheaper, but when you think about it in terms of where, like so you just mentioned, but Bryan and Kit and stuff like that, 13 million's like, hey, I can't complain with that. That's great, but I'm just glad that the most important thing is Ferguson's here for another 4 years. Dak's got a safety blanket for another 4 years.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good relationship to continue on going forward, strength to strength. So I'm really happy about that.
Because they've already got good chemistry.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and, as you say, very important to the offense. Dak loves to target his tight end. So that's an important factor. And, you look in games past, Ferguson has always been there for Dak. He's always sticking his nose in it, doing whatever's necessary.
I'm gonna put on a wee bold prediction already. Like I know he's coming back from an injury year, Mike. I know that, but I think now under this Schottenheimer offense, I think we're gonna have a complete 180 when it comes to our red zone offense, and I think Ferguson is the key to that.
Yeah,
I really do. I really do. Like
how he can split the safeties on a seam route is nice. It's nasty.
It's really nice to watch. But is there anything else that we have missed out so far?
Yes, Tyler Guyton.
How could we forget that? Oh,
that was the big news.
Right.
That was the panicky news. We all held our breath, and we've seen him go down. The good news is we watched him walk off the practice field. Already, as soon as we saw that, I kind of went, okay, he's under his own power. That's some good news. And then we get the news, and it broke. When was it? Tuesday morning.
It was a fracture. It's a fracture, not a broke.
Yeah. So he just done something down there, and lo and behold, everything's hunky dory in that respect. They think there's a possibility he could be ready for the Eagles game, but they're predicting that it's more going to be week 2 that we see him back, which is great. That's fantastic.
I know it. Like I would love him to be fit and ready for the Eagles game, but I am more concerned about the player safety more than anything. If he's not 100%, just give him an extra couple of days and get him ready for the next following game. I know it sounds like it's a big difference in terms of the quality of the squad, but it's their careers. End of the day, as much as I want the Cowboys to win and beat the living hell out of the Philadelphia Eagles, but I'm always going to be on the player safety side of things. I don't want to see any of our guys getting injured and return too early. We've witnessed that before. Michael Gallup's a great example of that. We've returned him to
Tony Romo.
I
used to turn my stomach watching that.
I rest my case on that one, Mike. I really do.
Yeah, and I mean, here's a plus as well, right? And I'm just trying to put a positive spin on because it's not a season-ending injury. It's not the ACL.
It's not.
It's a break. So the other positive spin that you can put on an injury like this is that it's happened this early in camp, which means A, he's going to be earlier for the season, but also it means that the team, the offensive line and the coaches can prepare more what to do on left tackle than if, say, this happened.
That's a good point.
Yeah, the second preseason game, we're in panic mode trying to figure out what are we doing at left tackle. Right now, we're still in training camp. We still got another 2 weeks of training camp to play with here.
And this is a good thing for the backups, like so you're asking Richards, etc., to take that step level up, like to be like because what we've had previously before with the offensive line, it's always been Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins,
whoever you want to go with,
like Doug Free or like we've always had that set 5, but it was like whoever the backup was, you could tell there was a difference of physicality, experience, like communication. There was a bit of a difference. I think now, like it's somewhat of a like I'm gutted, obviously for Guyton.
Obviously,
I really want him to come back as soon as possible, fit and healthy, good to go. Really get ahead and really like make a stamp and show us why we drafted him for this year. But for the guys that are really like your Brock Hoffmans, I've seen Richards, TJ Basses, this is an opportunity for you guys. Like step it up. Like get your names be heard and actually show that, like, hey, I wanna be part of this football team, even though they are going to be part of the football team, like in reality, because the numbers, but they're not just going to be a number. They're going to be a contributor, a factor to this fact. They're going to be a contributing factor to this team.
Yeah, definitely. So these guys now, they can do a bit of messing around. They can be like, do we kick Smith out left and have a look what we got at guard, or can we keep Smith at guard and we'll fiddle around with left tackle? You know, there's a number of different things you can play around with here now, because you've got this early, so you can sit and you can just tinker around with it and find out who your best starting 5 for week 1 is. If it turns out then in the end Guyton is ready for week 1, but you feel confident as well that you're like, oh no, he's not just fit and healthy for week 1. He knows we're like there. Then you just revert back to plan A.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I wish you a speedy recovery, Tyler. Get well soon. Get that leg healed up. Yeah, we need you, dude. We need you, man. But I guess the final note for this week's episode is a big happy birthday to Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah.
So a big happy birthday to Dak Prescott. So he is celebrating his birthday there in Oxnard, like kicking it up, throwing some balls to George Pickens, and obviously he's got his family out there as well at training camp. So wish him a much happy birthday. And I'm stuttering again.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, before we do go, Mike, do we have anything else? Have we covered everything, do you think?
Rob Jones, he was injured, neck injury, backup guard. So we wish him a speedy recovery as well. He's backup guard, often injured before in the past. So yeah, they believe we're going way down the line. That's like 3-4 months before he's going to return. So we'll see what happens there, what they want to do with him. Whether they put him on IR or whatever, we'll find out.
Yeah, time will tell on that one. But well, that is the end of this episode, folks. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to follow us on social media from X, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We would love and appreciate it. And be sure to go and follow the Believe Network. Go and check out all the other amazing podcasts available. But before we do go, Mike, please tell everyone where everyone can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Blogging the Boys or on Twitter or X at Kenfig Cowboy. Kenfig with a K, Cowboy with a K. And what about you, Mr. P?
At I am P2 on X and Instagram. But yes, folks, that is the end of this episode. And like as always here at the World's Team, remember, it's not just America's team. It is the World's Team. We will see you guys next time. Have a good one, folks.
That's a wrap on the World's Team Podcast. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, Cowboys Nation. This ain't just America's team, it's your team. Touchdown! It's the World's Team, only on Believe, where real fans live.
How about them Cowboys?